As a result of this map, we'll see more partisanship, more dysfunction, less of a voice for communities and citizens all around the state. Anybody else would like to say a few words? We have many members of our committee here who have been active in our last day looking at this map. Representative Lundy.
You know, as we stand here today, literally, probably maybe, in an hour from now, we'll be in committee. And we just saw the map at 2:15 yesterday. So primarily within about 25 hours, we'll actually, be voting on these redistricting maps. I think it's important for Ohioans to know that I believe they've been misled when they were told, well, you had the opportunity to give us input on congressional districts because meetings were held throughout the state. The bottom line is the input was not provided when people saw the map. The most important map for public input was the map that was provided yesterday at 2:15. And I would certainly challenge Representative Huffman to, once again, slow down the process, take this map to the public to get the feedback. This is the map that we need to have people weigh in on. This is the type of behavior that gives public servants and those of us here in Columbus a bad name. In this political climate, Ohioans clearly want to have the public involved in the process. They don't want a political process. They don't want the politicians calling the shots. And I believe this is a big slap in the face to those Ohioans, such as those for accountable redistricting, who've spent hours and hours working on making sure that these districts would be accountable and responsive. This is a slap in the face to them. So once again, I would challenge Representative Huffman, slow down this process, and Speaker Batchelder, and keep your word, so that we can work together. Everybody here is willing to work together. I can't state that clearly enough, but the only way we can work together is for people to keep their agreement, and their agreement was that they were going to provide plenty of opportunity for public feedback on this, and we're not seeing that.
Senator Gerberry.
Thank you very much. I was not here in 1981, but I was here in 1982 after the maps were drawn. In 82, they were drawn, just a little bit of a historical perspective. They were drawn by Democrats. In 1991, I was on the committee, so I may only be in my second full term, but I have a long history in the legislature, and I want to clarify that in 1991, the Democrats were in control. And I think what my colleagues have said, Leader Budish and also Matt Lundy, is that it doesn't really matter what map they gave us because we weren't going to like it. What they did was inappropriate. What they're doing is inappropriate. And you can say, well, would you do it any different, Gerberry? We did it differently. And I can tell you how we did it differently. We gave the date just didn't sneak up on us. We knew we had to do this. In 1991, I can remember sitting in committee in 313 when it was separate, it was a different room then. I can remember sitting there and watching Congressman Clarence Brown come before the committee and plead his case on behalf of his constituents. And you know what? I think Congressman Kucinich has that same right. Quite frankly, I think Mary Jones, who lives down the street from me, has that right. And none of our constituents have been given that right. And that's what this process is about. We are not so naive to believe. We don't control. We're the minority. We're not going to like it. This map stinks. It's unfair. Not politically Democrat, Republican. We know they're going to draw a map. We would too if we were in control. That's not the issue. The issue is that the public has the right And we are not giving them that right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.